So you have loaded your data and you're on your way to making your advisor project. But maybe you made a mistake while loading it. You chose the wrong data type, or you want to change the name of one of your fields. Maybe your database administrator added a new field for you to use. Do not be afraid, because Advisor lets you easily manage your data sources to adjust the definitions that you've set when you're loading data. So let's take a look at how to manage data sources. First, when we're working with data sources, we'll generally want to work in the authoring mode. So go to the authoring ribbon, and then in here I want to go to manage data sources. Now I have my manage data sources window. So I have a few different options. I can see the name and the type of the data source. I can see the number of tables from the data source. So a data source can have multiple tables, but all the tables need to be from the same type of source. So, a data source will contain one Excel book, which can have multiple spreadsheets, which will be loaded as multiple tables, or it can be one database where I'm loading multiple tables. Also, you can have multiple data sources out of the same database too. But in here, it will show you the number of tables and the table names. So one thing we can do is we can click modify. And in here you get the editor. This will contain the connection information. So if it's a file, it will just show the path. But if it's a database, you will get the credentials. So you can come here if you have to update your database credentials. This is one way to do it. You can set a timeout maximum parameter. So how long does the advisor need to wait for a reply from your database or your network location before it gives up, so that it doesn't hang up indefinitely waiting for a response from the source. But last and most importantly, you have this Metadata tab, which contains the key information and normally what you would want to edit. So in here you can come and edit the data types, or for example, my number of employees, it's really an integer, and we had loaded it as a double with currency symbol. We don't want that. So this triggers a conversion analyzer, because there might be some changes that can severely impact the project. So if say you have IDs that you loaded as strings, and then you want to try to change them to integers, but they're connected, in a link function or in a table copy, they're mapped to other IDs that are on a different type, then this analyzer prepares you in the case that there might be a breaking change when you change the type. But that only applies to the type. In here you can change the precision without any risk. So I want to see cents in my revenue. I can change that here easily. Same thing with the currency or the comma separators. So you can come here, you can even make changes. So if instead of state I want to call my field just the abbreviation, I can do that easily, and I don't have to worry about this because the changes will ripple through Advisor. So any changes, any place where this state field is used, any chart or any calculation will be automatically updated and not cause an issue to your project. So all these changes are saved, just the data type changes need to go through that conversion analyzer in case that it could break something. So in here I'm going to click save, but actually first, say if someone added a new column to my table, I would click refresh, and that that is going to see and check if any fields have been added or removed. In this case they weren't, so I just wanted to show you this is how you would bring new fields that were added to your table. You do need to go through the manage data sources in here. So then I can just click save and say yes. And that should work. Additionally, I have this option where if you have templates with different data sources, you can add them in the project, add to project without needing to go through the whole data load wizard again. So that was a quick run through. In here it's telling me all the things that are going to be updated, but nothing is getting removed because there would be a different indicator if anything would have broke or needed to be removed after my changes. So it recreated everything, rippling the changes through. I should be safe. One thing is, at that point, if you added a new field, you would want to save as an ADV and refresh your data. You can check out the ADV versus ADVM video for more information on that. Okay, I hope this was helpful to you. Thanks.